Welcome one, welcome all to the online digital learning world of Mr. Austin Mr. Austin Androgynous. That's who I will call myself today. What we are going to cover, we're going to look at some statistical analysis. We have Miss Rodriguez's work here as an example. Thank you, Miss Rodriguez. And the first 3 minutes or so, I will cover what the absent students need to get caught up. And then I would fast forward to about 4 minutes if you were present at Thursday's class. So, for those who are absent, the 5 of you, here's what you need to do. Number 1, go back and make sure you've finished all this. So Miss Rodriguez has done a great job, but she's missed a few things here. Miss Rodriguez, make sure you go back and update this information. So have all of that answered, including our education on data, which is actually, if you open this link, it's just the exact warm-up that we did on Tuesday. So put the answers in there, and then let's move on to the part that we focused on in class. So we're going to go back to the U.S. Census Bureau's data collection center here, and what we're going to focus on first is all races, and we're going to look at the differences between men and women in the United States based on their educational attainment. You should have defined that word, but essentially we're talking about the highest level of education attained by the people of this study. That's not helpful. Look at that. Okay. Well, yours works well on your iPad if you open that up, but mine didn't. So I'm going to open it up in Excel, but that's going to take forever. So I'm going to pause the video. Alright, we're back. And where's our data? Here's our data. Okay. So I pulled up that chart that you need to click on. And the first one you're looking at, again, you clicked on all races. Pull up the CSV on your iPad. That works best. Or if you're on a computer, the Excel sheet there. And the first thing we need is the total number for both sexes. I believe I'm wrong. We need it just for men and we need it just for women. Okay, so just for men, our grand total is 115,880. For women, it's 123,461. Let's see how Elaine did. Looks great. Then she found the total number ages 18 to 24. On your other chart, that is this number right here. Okay, so I had you record that information because I think it's compelling information, because that's when somebody normally graduates from high school. So she has her data there, and then you continue on. Total high school graduates 18 and over, total with bachelor's degrees, total with master's degrees, total with doctorate degrees, total with bachelor's. Okay. And this is the part that I want to show you for those students who are absent. We are going to do some calculations. We need to figure out what is the percentage of men with bachelor's degrees. And in order to do that, we take the number of degrees divided by the total number of people. So let's go back to our data. So I'll go back to the top. And I'm looking for this row, total number of bachelor's degrees. And I have a number of 21,300. Okay, so since I'm working with Excel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the total number of degrees, 21,300. So I'm going to go equals this number divided by the total number of men in our study, and I get 0.1838, which, as we all know from our math class, is a decimal, which then we change into, by moving the decimal place over twice, to our percentage, which then would equal 18.38%, and we'll round up to the nearest tenth, so 18.4%. Let us see how Elaine did. 18.4%, she's correct! Very well done, Elaine. We do the same calculation for women by looking, again, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to erase my data because I already have the answers. I'm going to, again, look, what row is this? Row L. I'm going to go down here, find the total number of degrees earned for women. It's this number, so I'm going to go equals this number divided by the total number of women, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, and I get 0.1933, which if we round equals 19.3. Let's see if Elaine got it. Oh, she's 2 for 2. Congratulations, Elaine. And then she gives you the answers here, but I don't know if she's right. I don't know if she's right. She's doing really well so far, but you need to do the math yourself. So you're going to calculate that data for this chart, and then we're going to compare 3 different charts. So black alone, I can't give you all the answers. I'm going to scroll through this rapidly. You're going to look at the chart for black alone right here, pull up that chart, and you go through the same process. And then you're going to look at white alone, or in combination. Non-Hispanic white alone. You're going to look at this one, non-Hispanic white alone. So that would be somebody who doesn't identify with any ethnic roots that come from the Americas, the Spanish-speaking Americas. That would be Hispanic or Latino. And they are white, meaning European. So click on that one. You're going to work with that one. And then the last one you're going to look at is Hispanic of any race. And that's going to get you the data for that chart, and that chart, which Elaine you need to finish. And now I want to talk about your final chart. Your final chart, kind of like the NCAA Final Four, the granddaddy of them all. The big one, the grande, the primero uno, the number one. You know what I'm saying? The grand finale. So that's what we're going to talk about. So let's talk about what you're going to be doing in class. This is your final assessment for your statistical analysis mini unit here. And let me walk you through the process. Okay, it says, chart that shows, what you need to create is a chart that shows levels between blacks, non-Hispanic whites, and Hispanics of any race for educational achievement. Interesting. So, if educational achievement is a measurement, we have to think, how have we calculated this? Well, one of the ways we've done this is we looked at the number of bachelor's degrees by ethnicity and race, and we have that as a percentage. So we can represent that data, but we also have the numbers of doctorate degrees, which is an even higher measure of education, higher education. But let's think about how we're going to set up our chart. So we need to represent 3 different groups: blacks, non-Hispanic whites, and Hispanics. So we have at least 3 columns. Interesting. But we also, because we know, that's okay. Yes, interesting. Okay, yes. Okay, so our chart might look a little something like this, right? We've got our 3 categories. We're going to insert a table. Insert. I'm going to go 3, 4 this way because I got to think about my labels, and then I'm going to go this way, 3 by 4. And the reason is, okay, so you got your, I don't know why mine does it. It doesn't show up well. So you got your category, right? And then within this, again, it doesn't show up. I don't know why. We're going to represent our numbers with percentage of bachelor degrees, percentage of doctorate degrees. So there's our categories. And then we need our groups down our rows or columns. That's a column, right? Up and down column. That makes sense, like Roman columns. Okay, so down our column we have our 3 groups. We have blacks, we have, let's be specific, non-Hispanic whites, and then we have Hispanics of any race. Hispanics of any race. Now, we enter our data, and we have a very succinct data set that we can immediately draw conclusions from, and we can compare the 3 different groups to reach conclusions. So that would work. Chart that shows the different levels between blacks, non-Hispanic whites, and Hispanics of any race for educational achievement. Boom, bam, thank you, man. We've accomplished what we need to there. But this is a two-part process. We need a second chart. Chart that breaks down the different levels between blacks, non-Hispanic whites, and Hispanics of any race for educational achievement by gender. Ooh, we've just thrown in a whole nother category. How would we represent that? Well, I tell you one way we could do it. We could break it down by simply one way. I could copy my chart. I could paste it, and then I could think, well, how could I do this? Well, I could add another category. I could insert a row below, and I could say something like educational level for black men, and then I could say, okay, insert another row below, black women, and then I can continue with my chart. And now I can see the differences, not just by race or ethnicity, but by gender as well. And I cannot, at this point, give you any more clear direction. You will be on your own. You'll have 20 minutes to complete this chart and have it printed out at the end of that 20 minutes to receive credit. Remember, your numbers need to be accurate. So even if you do a great job on the charts, but your data is inaccurate from the get-go, but you're working with faulty data. And it's like starting with oranges when you're trying to make apple juice. You got the wrong ingredients. You got to have the right ingredients. You know what I'm saying? All right, this is Mr. Austin Androgynous signing off. Have a wonderful weekend. And until next time, remember.